Welcome back to Keeping It Real on Purpose, where we stop talking about change and start building the life we deserve. Stop telling yourself it's too late to change that damn song. You've been programmed for structure, but your soul is begging for rhythm. Most people quit when their plan A fails, but our guest today didn't quit. He pivoted from Air Force to the airwaves. He's a veteran, a scholar, an athlete, and a prolific songwriter whose life is proof that discipline and dreams aren't mutually exclusive. We are here to talk about the real resilience and the ultimate journey of self-discovery. So please welcome songwriter, musician, and veteran Jonathan Steele.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm glad to be on the show.
I am glad you were here today. So I'm really excited because it's such a myriad of things that you got going on. Your background is incredibly rich. Air Force veteran, degrees in liberal arts and exercise science. That's the first time I ever heard of that, exercise science. And now a musician with over 100 lyric compositions. Most people struggle to commit to one path. What's the biggest mind shift required to go from the rigid discipline of military service and scholarship to embracing the vulnerability and rhythm of a creative life?
Oh, I also believe, it takes to endure things to get more creative and to go through a journey that maybe that's not where God wanted you to be. So
Okay.
that part of your journey may have ended quicker than you wanted to, but I believe I got more creative from the experiences I had in the military, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I have my own radio show on Artist First Radio since 2019. So, and Z-Man, the host, he says, I don't think it's money driving you to do this, So, and I just have it's my way of giving back, even more back to people. And I believe, that if you want something bad enough, you have to keep going for it and not quit. And determination, motivation's important in positive people that come along your path. And sometimes the people you hang out with, or even if it's negative or positive, you can write things based on that, and it's
Right.
creative, but it's creative. It may not be. I can turn negativity into comical stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Negativity into comical.
Yeah.
Or like sports like bowling. Like made it in the PBA, so I haven't bowled in a while. But all that
Yeah.
hard work, like I always had a personality to try to be the best at everything when I was younger. About
Uh-huh.
16, 17, 18 years old, and it carried on into. I slowed down some, because of health conditions, but
Right.
I still believe that like I said, your experiences from medical, from employment, from people you hang out with, from things you watch on TV, from your relationship with God and Jesus, all those things plays in a fact of and just being able to things just come to me when I write them. It just comes to me. It's gotten easier and easier and easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I also believe that too, the experiences we had. But what I really like about your experience altogether, you went from one extreme to the next. And it's showing me that you don't, your purpose changes throughout life and how you embraced, because I rarely see men, I guess around music, men, I rarely see men really talk about being that creative in with music, like writing lyrics. I rarely see that bringing out that creative part. And I get so excited when I see people like, kind of do that, because I'm a writer and I just write all the time. And I'm like, I can't be by myself, the only one, but my friend put it in perspective and she said, well, when an artist draws, right, they draw many pictures. You're just a
Yes.
writer who just writes much, and I was like, oh, that's really great, But you embracing um, your creative side had to come from some vulnerability somewhere. When did it start?
Oh, when I first started writing, I wasn't very good at it, but probably back when I was 16, 17 years old. And the
Okay.
first style of writing that I had, I don't know if you've heard of Weird Al Yankovic. I
Oh,
sort
of
of made,
course. Come on.
yes, I made fun of
Come
songs.
on.
Yes, I made fun of songs back then.
Uh-huh.
And I, like I have some songs like Bob Seger's "Turn the Page." I have a song called "Turn the Tire," and it's in songs like "Friends in Low Places." I have a song called "Friends in Feral" or "Stairway to Heaven," "Stairway to Goodwill" is example. Like just comical. I don't mean anything offensive. It can have
Yeah.
offensive stuff in it, but I only mean it in a comical sense, not to hate anybody or
Hmm.
but that's where it started from, and I crafted that. It started, like I said, back probably in 1996, 97, because I'm
Okay.
44 now, and probably back when I was 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. And the first time I ever had a
Gotcha.
demo done with a demo company was in 2000 or 2001, and I was highly motivated back then. Wanted to do it. I wanted to do everything. I didn't like I didn't
Don't we
like the
all? We
rest.
all want to do that. Everything. We want to do everything.
Yeah, and then
Yeah. Uh-huh.
but yeah,
Oh, that's great.
yes, I'd say this all started, like I said, back in the '90s.
Hmm.
So
Okay. 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 Your life is a story of continuous growth and exploration. I know a key component of that is self discovery. For our listeners that feel stuck in a career or identity they've outgrown, how do you manage to manage the fear of starting over?
you mean from the service when I got out, or you?
Yeah, when every aspect of your career, like it's so it's like a blossoming flower. It's so versatile. So how do you get the energy to start over in a new project or a new chapter?
Well, I believe when the more that you endure, and just like some biblical figures in the past where they like Noah, Job, and you lose everything, and
Hmm.
you say, how am I going to get out of this? And it's the resilience, and you get to a point where you've lost everything in life, and then you have to start all over, and everything
Right.
comes back to you 10 times greater than when you lost everything. So, and what, like, from going from jobs to the military to college to, songwriting's been going on for a while, but this is more my passion, and I have some quit, and I've gotten better and better and better, where I could have just folded up and said, I ain't doing anything, I'm just going to sit on the couch. But it's my
Hmm.
personality, my ability from God, myself, and positive people around me, and just the I have like a good treatment team at the VA hospital. They helped me get everything going back to normal after I was sidetracked with a lot of illnesses and still dealing with them. But I
Hmm.
just feel that there's more there's more to life than just when one part doesn't work, you got to try something else. And you keep getting pulled back down, then you get back up and keep going. It's just something built in me, like a just like when I was in the service discipline to do all that exercise. People thought it as punishment, but I actually enjoyed it. It just like build inside of me, and just continuous perseverance and continuous
Right, and that's
striving.
important. Yeah,
Yeah.
perseverance is really, really important. I mean, and that comes from internally in your gut. And self discovery. You had to have some type of, I guess, chutzpah to kind of discover each chapter, each change in your life, and have some like, like a wondering, like, oh, this is going to be great, and how did that come about? Like how that self-discovery part, like just getting the will to do it. How did that come about?
That was a positive step back, probably when I would say the first time that I really changed everything would go back to fifth, sixth grade when
Oh,
my
wow.
mom, yes, my mom put me through a summer school with her because I was up and down when I was younger with my grades. And when my mom
Gotcha.
she did a summer school with me, and after that time I started getting on the honor roll all the time. My grades started changing, my attitude changed. And sometimes, like for instance, when with the service, when I went to it the first time, I did not care for it. I didn't like it. And then when
Right.
I went in two more times, and actually the third time I actually enjoyed it because my attitude changed. And that's the
Right.
same way when I would say things have changed. The starting point, what I would say, was back in the fifth, sixth grade, fourth, fifth, sixth grade, when my mom summer
Okay. So
schooled me. And
you kept that going, that self-discovery going. That's
yes,
nice.
that was a big part of it. And um, that was a huge part. My parents played a big part of that because they
Mm-hmm.
always said, if you want something, you got to work for it. Nothing
Yeah.
was handed to me or my siblings, or my
Mm-hmm.
parents or anything. They've always been hard workers, and nothing's been given to any of
Right.
us. So that's
Right.
where I picked that up from. So
Okay. For my audience who say, and I know they say it a lot, it's probably too late for me. In their 40s, 50s, and 60s, it's probably too late for me to pursue such a passionate artistic dream. What would you say to that?
I would say it's not too late. There's, if you refer to the Bible, there's biblical figures that God used when they were real late in life. Later in life. That
Hmm.
look at some of the biblical figures. I believe was in Moses didn't have a baby till he was 80 years old. He got married, had a kid at
Yeah.
80 years old. So I would say it's not too old for a dream for
Hmm.
especially songwriting, because I think you mature more as you get older. And even if you don't want to be like if you can't be a performer, there's other ways to go about the music business, such as just being a writer or a studio musician.
Right.
So, and if you feel that if it's in your whatever's in your desire, your passion, it's not too late to,
Hmm.
no age is too late to get
Right.
going, because
Right.
there's no law saying that you have to be 20 years old to be a songwriter or play live.
Yeah. 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 You mentioned your music is a reflection of your journey. So you're touching so many universal themes of love, struggle, and triumph, as you explained with the titles that you have to some of your songs. So we talk about here on this channel healing and transformation. How does the physical act of songwriting, whether drumming or singing, um, become a powerful tool for you to become well and release emotional, baggage, let's
Oh,
say.
it's tremendous. I feel the rhythms of the drum, just you don't have time to sit and think about things. It just
Oh, that's
relaxes
good.
you. And
Yeah.
the drums is a rhythmic beats, just like in the military marching, just like martial arts. It's a
Mm-hmm.
whole accounting system. So it's all coordination of the mind. And in the writing, you just take your mind off of everything, and just there's no worries when you're writing. There's no worries when you're playing the drums or the guitar. There's no worries at all. It's just you and that instrument. And you have so many ways to practice it. There's never saying I know everything, that's it, because you can even invent things on your own, that I picked up. And it's just to have a hobby like that. it,
Right.
it is just, it's therapeutic and emotional. You could be spontaneous, changing, like being progressive, and just all that. it's therapeutic on the mind, and you can release energy, and it's not in a violent way or anything. So
Right. That's so good.
it's all
Let's talk about
creativity.
resilience. Let's
Yes,
talk about
resilience.
resilience.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a key trait to anyone that's seeking a better life, and it shows in your life and journey now. When you hit a low point, and your creativity kind of stalls, or rejection hits you hard, especially as a creator, you may send your things into a publisher or to somebody and they don't like it. When all that hits you hard, what's the one thing that gets you back to work?
Oh, well, you say, hey, I got a positive support system. On my radio show, I got a DJ that, had mentioned to me that, um, your stuff is better than almost everything that comes in here. And he just says, when you get rejected, you got to remember how many songs has that person wrote, how many
Yeah,
songs they wrote. And then it just inside me, whether I get rejected or not, it's just part of who I am. I'm always going to be a writer, no matter if
yeah.
somebody doesn't like it or not. So, but I
Hmm.
have a positive outlook on it, and I say, well, this hasn't gone anywhere yet, but I'm gonna try this next. I'm gonna try that, and
Right.
here I haven't completely broke into the business yet, but hey, I'm still doing it. I'm still trying. I'm still
Yeah.
I'm having a blast. So I would say, just keep trying. Don't just give up after
Yeah.
one denial, or you try a different avenue, don't, try a different song, create a new song, maybe get
Right.
some coaching on, different writing styles, or maybe you have to update your music a little bit or something. It's not necessarily you. It's just maybe that wasn't a certain fit. Maybe you have to find a something like a publisher or an artist that specializes to your music. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it may not just be the fact that that you're just flat out denied. It just means it just wasn't a perfect fit for that.
Right. What's your one number one mantra that you kind of use to kind of get your stirred back up?
I would say just being alert and to new ideas, and just
Mm.
saying, hey, I want to be I still want to do something with this. I haven't
Right.
I'm not giving up. I would say just um, being motivated
Right.
and excited, and no matter
Okay.
about denial, just being full of excitement all the time about writing.
Okay. John, we have a lot of listeners right now who know they need to pursue something new, a passion, a pivot, or a healing process, but they are paralyzed. Based on your experience across multiple diverse fields, what is the single non negotiable first step that they must take today to move from feeling stuck to finding their own next rhythm?
They have to be able to be open to change, because things everything in the modern day changes. That
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm.
ev- we're all adapting to change all the time. So
Right.
and you have to start somewhere to go anywhere. And what I mean by that is, even like in a job, if you don't start somewhere at a certain age, you can't go somewhere bigger down the road, but you always have to start somewhere to go anywhere. So that
Right.
that would be my
Yep.
biggest that would be a good piece of advice right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it does take that. Sometimes you do feel stuck. I know as a writer, I have had those times that I was stuck, but it was because I was thinking about something else and not doing what I was supposed to do.
Yes, being
you know.
sidetracked. Yeah, or being overloaded with something else. Like maybe you have to, for songwriting, maybe you have to work full time, and you have a family, so it could be hard
Right.
to get things.
Yeah.
Busy schedules can
Hmm.
get you
Hmm.
stuck.
Yeah. They certainly can. They can get you really stuck. Okay, so John, is there anything else that you have forgotten to tell us that the audience needs to hear?
Yes, for about your songwriting, there's many ways you can be a writer. You can just be a you can just be a lyric writer. There's ways to get your lyrics to uh, local musicians, professional musicians. There's avenues to do it. There's ways to make demos if you don't make music.
Right.
There's ways to and now they have artificial intelligence, which I haven't tried yet, but they can make a song in 5 minutes if
Yeah,
you have
I
the
heard that.
lyrics.
I heard that. Yes.
But there's still some good demo companies. I've tried one called Tunely. They're really good. Demo my song. That's where I had a lot of songs done, and you can even, if you have somebody you might be able to get into a studio if you want to be a studio musician, and maybe somebody that they can give you a deal on something, or to get a deal per hour, because usually they charge per hour in the studio. And
There you go.
sorry about that. I had a phone
That's
call
all right.
come in. Yeah, but anyway, I was gonna say, yeah, there's ways. Just you can start somewhere if you're trying to make it in the business. There's ways to start making demos, like I said, to ways to make your music, to get it made by music demo companies
Right.
and things like that. So, which I mentioned some of the ones, and there's ways to advertise your music, like on CD
Hmm.
Baby and DistroKid's a good way to release your music if it's not released by a big outfit yet. You can release it on CD Baby, DistroKid, and your songs will be on Spotify, YouTube, but it has to be promoted, and that's where I was lacking in, is promotion. And
Right.
sometimes
Yeah.
a local
I think
some of
all
your
of us to get like that. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
and sometimes your colleges can help you, which I'm having some experience with a college, Gannon University, where some of the students are trying to help me with my music as well. So I'd say that there's all kinds of avenues, and just don't
Right.
get stuck. Don't get stuck, and don't give up. Especially with songwriting, that can compare that to your life too. What you put into life is what you get out of it. And
Yeah.
sometimes people's journeys are a lot harder to go about than others. But when you'll find yourself in there, and sometimes you have to change. Nowadays, the work life is, people want to do everything. They want to do college, raise a family, work a full-time job, and they say,
Hmm.
how am I going to be able to do these hobbies and stuff? But you want to remain healthy. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So you want to take
Right.
care of your health, and keep uh, keep believing in faith of God and Jesus, and just keep following your dreams and ambitions, and treat people the way you'd want to be treated, and everything will come to you. What goes around comes around. And like I said, you got to
Absolutely.
start somewhere to go anywhere.
Yes, that's right. Well,
Yes.
Jonathan, this has been truly inspiring. Thank you for all the great information, and for all those songwriters out there, for those writers, this show is for you. Thank you for showing us that past achievements don't limit your future, they simply enrich it. You can find Jonathan's incredible music and connect with him on his social channels. We have all the links for his albums and his Instagram at John, Jon Steele, Steele music. And it's waiting for you. Go check him out right now. I hope that you love this episode. But for right now, we're going to say goodbye for now. I'm your host, Edna White, my esteemed guest, John Steele, saying
Yes.
goodbye for now.
Take care, and God bless. Thanks for tuning in.